Here's something that's going to sound insane, but I promise you it's true. A marker can predict your grade before they have read 70% of your essay. Not because they are rushing, not because they are being unfair, because there are four specific sentences in every piece of academic writing that quietly reveals everything: your thesis statement, your topic sentences, the structure inside your paragraph, and your final line. Get those four things right, and the rest of your essay almost writes itself. And if you get them wrong, then no amount of research is going to save you. Today, I'm giving you all four back to back. So stay until the end because the last one is the one almost everyone gets embarrassingly wrong. Let me ask you something. Have you ever read the first paragraph of an essay and just known instantly whether it was going to be good or not? That feeling isn't luck. That feeling is your brain reacting to one single sentence, the thesis statements. And here's the uncomfortable truth. A weak thesis statement is basically an essay committing a slow, invisible suicide in very first paragraph. And it doesn't even know it's happening. Here's what a weak thesis statement should look like. Example, this essay will discuss the effects of social media on teenagers. Read that again. What does it actually promise you? Nothing. It's a topic, not an argument. It could go absolutely anywhere, which means the writer probably doesn't know exactly where it's going. Now, here's a strong one. While social media offers teenagers valuable opportunities for connection, its unchecked use significantly increases the risk of anxiety and disrupted sleep, making regulated access essential rather than optional. Did you feel that shift? That sentence takes a position. It's specific, it's arguable, meaning a reasonable person could disagree with it, which is exactly what makes it worth defending for the next 1500 words. Here's why this one sentence has a much more power over your entire grade. Every single paragraph after it either support that sentence or it doesn't belong in the essay at all. A strong thesis becomes a filter. It tells you exactly what to include and just as importantly, what to leave out. Without it, you are not writing an argument. You are just describing a topic. And describing a topic never earns top marks, no matter how much research sits underneath it. So here's the formula. Take a stance, don't just name a topic. Make it specific enough that someone could actually disagree with it. And hint at your reasoning, the because that the rest of your essay is going to prove. If your thesis statement could apply to literally any essay on that topic ever written by anyone, it's not doing its job yet. Rewrite it until it could only belong to yours. Now, here's something that's going to change how you write forever once you actually see it. Markers, and I mean this literally, markers will often read only the first sentence of every paragraph before deciding how carefully to read the rest of it. Not because they are lazy, because a well trained topic sentence tells them exactly what's coming next. And if the sentence is vague or missing entirely, it signals that the paragraph underneath is completely vague and probably wanders too. Try this test right now. On your last essay, read only the first sentence of every single paragraph, one after another, and nothing else. Does that alone tell a clear connected story of the entire paragraph? If it does, your structure is working. If it reads like a random list of unrelated statements because you have made so much of research that you have congested all together, that's exactly where your grade is quietly leaking away, paragraph by paragraph. So here's what a weak topic sentence look like. See, example. There are many reasons for climate change. That sentence could open literally any paragraph about literally anything related to climate change. It commits to nothing. Now, here's a strong one. Be careful, watch this example, a strong statement. Deforestation is one of the most significant yet preventable contributors to rising global carbon emission. Now, that sentence does three things at once. It names the exact idea this paragraph is about. It signals the paragraph's angle, preventable, significant. And it sets up exactly what evidence needs to come next. Here's the rule I want you to remember. A topic sentence should work as a complete summary of its paragraph. Even if someone never read another word of it, just a single sentence, the starting sentence should hit the reader what is going to be discussed in the paragraph. If your topic sentence is vague enough that it could introduce three completely different paragraphs, it's not a topic sentence yet. It's just a placeholder and it's costing you marks before the reader even gets to your evidence. Part 3, the Peel formula. Okay, so now you've got a strong thesis and a strong topic sentence opening every paragraph. Now here's the part that trips up almost everyone next. What actually goes inside the paragraph itself. Because most weak paragraphs aren't wrong, they are just incomplete. They state something and then stop without ever actually proving it. This is where PEEL comes in, and once you learn it, you will never write a hollow paragraph again. P stands for point. State your main idea. This is your topic sentence. Evidence, back it up. A statistic, a study, a real world example, a quote. E stands for explain. And this is the step almost everyone skips. Walk the reader through exactly why that evidence prove your point. Don't assume it's obvious. Spell it out. Explain it. Now comes link. Connect it back to your thesis. And if it's not the final paragraph, bridge forward into the next idea. Let me show you the difference this makes without the E for explain. I have not used E for explain yet. Point. Remote work increases employee productivity. Evidence. A 2023 Stanford study found a 13% output increases among remote workers. And then nothing. The paragraph just ends there. It sounds fine, but it's not actually proving anything. It's just reporting a fact and hoping the reader connects the dots themselves. Now watch what happens when you add the explain step. The same output increase was linked directly to fewer office distraction and self-managed schedules, which suggests that productivity gains stem specifically from autonomy, not simply from working outside a traditional office. Do you see what just happened? The evidence didn't change, but now the paragraph actually argues something. Instead of just presenting a fact and walking away from it, you have explained the reader. You have pointed out what you want to make him understand. Now here's the trick that will fix 90% of weak paragraphs instantly. After you write your evidence, force yourself to write the words, this shows that or this suggests that, and then finish the sentence. This will help you back it up with the explanation. If you genuinely cannot finish the sentence, it means your evidence doesn't actually support your point yet. And that's incredibly valuable to know before you submit, not after you get the grade. So use an evidence which you can back it up with an explanation. You can link it up. Part 4, concluding your paragraphs. And now, the one almost everyone gets embarrassingly wrong, the conclusion. Here's a pattern you have probably fallen into without even noticing. You write your introduction, then at 11 at night, exhausted, 20 minutes before the deadline, you write your conclusion by basically copy-pasting your introduction and swapping a few words here and there, taking a few lines of findings and putting it up for a conclusion. In conclusion, this essay has discussed the effects of social media of teenagers. Finished. And here's the problem with that. It doesn't just feel lazy, it actively signals to the marker that your understanding of the topic hasn't moved an inch between your first paragraph and your last one. Even if it genuinely has. Now watch a real conclusion. A real conclusion does something to your introduction structurally, cannot do yet. Because at that point in the essay, evidence hasn't been presented. Your conclusion should synthesize, pull your separate points together into one unified takeaway, not just list them again and again in the same order. It should answer, so what? Why does any of this actually matter beyond the essay itself? And where appropriate, it can point forward implications, recommendation, or what should happen next. Here's the difference in practice. Weak conclusion. In conclusion, social media has both positive and negative effects on teenagers as discussed above. That sentence could have been written before you did any research at all. Now a strong conclusion. Ultimately, the evidence suggests that social media's psychological impact depends less on the platform itself and more on the structure of use, meaning future interventions should focus on usage patterns rather than blanket restrictions. That sentence could only exist after you'd actually done the thinking. It proves the essay changed something in your understanding, and that's what exactly conclusion is supposed to demonstrate. Now, here's the trick. Write your conclusion by covering your introduction completely. So you can't accidentally reuse its phrasing. And ask yourself one question. If someone only read this final paragraph, would they understand not just what my essay was about, but what I actually concluded from it? Now, if the honest answer is no, it's still a summary. Keep pushing it until it becomes a genuine conclusion. So, here's what I want you to take away from all four of these. Your thesis statement makes a promise. Your topic sentence delivers on that promise, paragraph by paragraph. The Peel formula proves every single claim instead of just stating it. And your conclusion proves that the thinking actually went somewhere. Four sentences scattered across your entire essay, and together they are quietly doing more work than every other sentences combined, no matter how much you have done your research. Next time you finish a draft, don't reread the whole thing first. Pull out just these four elements on their own and check if they tell one clear, confident story by themselves. If they do, everything else tends to fall in place around them. For Ace with Sneha, less confusion, more clarity, and better career.